The woman who'd been laying low in the suburbs was hit with crippling fear the second she answered the phone. Her ex-boyfriend had tracked her down again. She bolted back to her room and scrambled to pack all her belongings, but before she could make her escape, her ex had already unlocked and opened the door first. She stumbled backward in terror as he slowly closed the distance between them, snapping a sharp warning for him not to lay a finger on her. But staring at her face, completely unchanged after 6 long years, he couldn't help but flash back to the days they'd been madly in love. 6 years prior, she'd giddily told the CEO she was pregnant. But just as he'd been over the moon planning their wedding, she'd hit him with a brutal breakup. She claimed she'd never loved him at all, that even the pregnancy had been a lie, all a ploy to bleed him dry of money. He'd refused to believe it, begging her desperately to stay, only for her to yank her hand free from his grip and vanish without a trace the next second. 6 years later, he'd finally found her again, and she was still dead set on running. Furious, he gave her a 10-second head start to escape, swearing he'd never come after her again if she got away. She'd thought 10 seconds was more than enough time, but he'd already curled his fist around the loose thread of her sweater. She was a kite in his hand. No matter how far she fled, as long as he held that string, she'd always be pulled right back to him. But she refused to be at his mercy. She bit straight through the yarn, then sprinted for the door, triumphant. Yet he didn't bat an eye at her escape. He'd already posted a full team of bodyguards right outside. The second she wrenched the door open, they slammed it shut again. All hope drained from her, and she was left helpless as he carried her back to his private villa. With bodyguards lining every step of the way, she knew there was no escaping him this time. Still, she clung to her last shred of hope, begging him to let her go. Instead, he laid out a demand that turned her blood cold. He'd set her free, but only if she bore him a child first. Staring at the unhinged madness in his eyes, she knew just how deeply her lie from 6 years ago had broken him. But she couldn't bring herself to tell him the truth of what really happened back then, forced to let him go on hating her. Just then, the CEO's grandfather caught wind of what was going on. He stormed into the villa with his own squad of bodyguards, demanding the CEO throw her out at once. To him, she'd been nothing but a gold-digging liar from the very start.